Hi and Assalamualaikum. We are preparing Invoicing and Sales Information System from Madam Saliza binti Ramli as our project for CSC408. Next, I will introduce the presenter consists of Alia Shazwani binti Abu Bakar, Nurul Afifah binti Burhan, Nur Fatihah Idayu binti Hussein and Nurul Shuhada binti Shaharuddin. Let's move to our project background. Our project background is the company, which is Yet Nasi Ayam company, selling various type of nasi ayam. We also have a system that created to organize the order of nasi ayam. Moreover, we also creating a system that can arrange the data of the business systematically according to our type of nasi ayam. Next, I would like to introduce about our project objective, which is to give some convenience for the staff to sort the data of the order. To know the sales of the business, we also need to keep track with the transactions, and the objective of our company and our project is to prevent any redundancy or error occur when key in the customer order.
Hi, so this is our invoicing and sales information system project. So as you can see, we have home, staff details, menu, customer order, coupon, item, sales and invoice. So I would like to present about the home tab and staff detail first. As for the home tab, we can see that this is the dashboard, which consists of the icon of our logo, our company logo, and the items of the other system. So let's see about the screen tip first. What is actually screen tip? Screen tip is actually when we click click to the icon or the words, it will come up with the words like go to staff details. For example, like items, click to items, menu, click to menu, order, click to order, coupon, click to coupon, click to invoice for invoice, and click to sales for sales. This is actually to easier the user to know what is actually they can do with the dashboard. So if we click to menu, it will immediately go to the menu tab like this. And if we want to go home, for example, if the tab is so many, we can just click to home page, and it will go immediately in the home page. So how do we do screen tip? So actually we just click on the icon until it appear like this. So we just need to edit the link, choose edit link, and we choose screen tip. Just click screen tip, and we just edit what we want to say, like for example, click to staff details, click OK, and it will immediately click to staff details. As for the icon, if we want to make it same with the words, we have to click the icon, right click also, edit link, screen tip, and we just edit the words. Okay, so moreover, in this home page, we also consist of link, how the icon and the words linked with the other tabs. So we just, for example, I will show you about the items. Right click, you have to apply the link. So for example, if we choose link, okay, then we choose place in this document, then just select any items that you want to connect with the item. So for example, this is item, just select items. Okay, then when we click the items, it will immediately go to item tab like this. Okay, so this is all for the home tip. Let's see about the staff ID. So for the staff ID, we consist of the raw data and the functions of login. So in this staff details tab, we use raw data and we use VLOOKUP functions and data validation function. So the raw data consists of staff ID and staff name and the picture of the staff. Okay, so for these staff details, we decide to choose VLOOKUP function in order to make sure that the staff ID are same with the staff name. So we, in order to insert the VLOOKUP, so we insert the VLOOKUP in this name, we use the formula of VLOOKUP H7, this is H7, then B3 to 6C, which is all the data that we need. This is B3 to 6C. Then 2, which is, this is the column number 2, staff name, which is name and staff name, and we choose false. Next, we choose enter. Okay, let's do the example. For example, I would like to choose Alia Shazwani binti Abu Bakar staff ID. Just put the staff ID. We click enter. This will appear, when you click enter, will appear of data validation. This is called as data validation, where we want to inform the user about the confirmation about the staff ID. So the data validation show that are you sure this is your staff ID? Click OK, and it will appear the name. How do we do data validation? We just click on the staff ID. See, please insert your staff ID is data validation. We choose data. Then we choose this one, data validation, and this is the data validation that I edit into this one. So this is the information, the error alert, to make sure that you can edit this one as your suitable with your function. So it will show up like this. So that's all from home and staff details. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Fatiha Hidayah binti Husin, and I am the next presenter. And so right now I will present about the menu of the nasi ayam Yats and also the customer order list. Okay, so this is the menu of the nasi ayam Yats, and we have 7 types of nasi ayam with the different prices each. And also there is information about the coupon, where the customer will receive the coupon if they purchase over 50 ringgit. Okay, so there is no function installed in this menu sheet. We only key in the raw data and the information in here. We also install the screen tip, where there's an icon of the home page, and it will make it easier for the staff. If they want to go to the home page, they just click the icon of this home page. Okay, so that's all for the menu sheet. Okay, so we move on to the customer order. Okay, so this is all the list of the customer who ordered the nasi ayam from our shop. Okay, so there are 14 columns which consist of the number of the customer list, the invoice number, the name of the customer, the items which consist of the menu of nasi ayam, and the code of the nasi ayam, the quantity order, the price per unit, the total price, the date ordered, the date received, the delivery times, which is the duration of the delivery, the shipping cost, the total which the customers have to pay, and the last one is the coupon. Okay, so there are several functions installed in this sheet, and we will go one by one. Okay, so for the first one is we install the data filtering. Okay, so we install the data filtering in each of these columns, and the data filtering function is to make it easier for the staffs to check the order that they want to see. Okay, so for example, if I want to know the customers who only buy a few types of nasi ayam, I will go to this button in the items columns. And okay, so here we will see that this is all the selected types which appear right now in the list. If I want to know who ordered a few types of nasi ayam, which are nasi ayam bakar, nasi ayam biasa, and nasi ayam dada, I will deselect the remaining one who I don't want to see, such as the nasi ayam Hainan, nasi ayam kepak, nasi ayam madu, and nasi ayam peha. And then I will click OK, and the list will appear only the selected items, which are nasi ayam biasa, nasi ayam dada, and nasi ayam bakar. Okay, so this is the function of the data filtering. Okay, so we move on to the next function, which is the data validation. Data validation function is to avoid any error and wrong data to be keyed in the system. Okay, so the data validation has been applied in the date order and also in the date receipt column. And so how the data validation works? Okay, so if we click the date under the date order, we can see that it appeared the box which said please make sure the date was in October 2020, and it shows that only October can be keyed in for the date. So if I key in another month, which is the 5th of September, and if I click OK, okay, so the warning box will appear and stated that only October is acceptable. So this is how the data validation works. So the next function is if function. If function has been applied in the coupon column in order to evaluate which customer should receive the coupon and which customer shouldn't receive the coupon. So the next function is if function. If function has been applied in the coupon column in order to evaluate which customer should receive the coupon and which customer shouldn't receive the coupon. If we click the cell under the coupon, we will see in the formula bar where it stated the formula of the if function, and in here we substitute the logical test into the total ringgit. The value if true is the coupon and the value if false is no. So if we apply the formula into the cells, it will automatically show which one will receive the coupon and which one is not will not receive the coupon. Okay, so we will move on to the formula. The first formula we applied is the multiply formula, which has been applied in the total price, where we will multiply the price per unit, multiply with the quantity ordered to receive the total price of the items. Okay, next is the delivery times, which we apply the minus formula, where the date received will be minus with the date ordered to know the delivery times. Okay, the last one is the add formula, which has been applied in the total column, and total price will be added with the shipping cost in order to know the total which the customer should pay to us. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, next I will present about the coupon. So for the coupon, we only given to the customer that have spent 50 and above. So the value of the coupon is RM 5 ringgit, where they can redeem the coupon for the next purchases of nasi ayam yats. So basically, in the basically for the coupon, we use a data filtering, which is we can see there is a list of name, which is No Amira binti Rasali, Siti Hamizah binti Nordin, Sri Kavita, Depuration, and address. So from that, we can see that okay, there is a lot of name, which is we have Adamadi and address. So so for the data filtering, they will only use the data. There is a filter, or we call it as a we call it as a it is a put only importance of information. So for the okay, other than that, when they have a coupon, they can see that all the data information have been organized. So it is a good example for the a good example how the nasi ayam nets organize their informations. Okay, next I will explain about the item. So for the item, the equations of the formula is a total price bracket RM bracket minus bracket shipping cost bracket. So for the item, we can see in the system above or in the item sheet, so that it is the sum of quantity order that made by all the customer. So for the quantity order from the items, we can see there is three functions that have been applied in the sheet, which are pivot table, slicer, and pivot chart. So for the pivot table, it is a summary of the data quantity. Okay, how we know that it's a summary of the data of the quantity, which is we can see there is a nasi ayam bakar, we have 42 orders, nasi ayam biasa 41, nasi ayam butter 13, and others. So I show in the picture, pivot table only show the sum of quantity the order of each menu. So it's not show the sum of quantity that made by the nasi ayam yes. So from that, we can see that it is a summary of data of quantity order. So with the pivot table, we know that we know that 235 orders are made by the customer. We can see to the item sheet above, we can see that equal as a grand total. Okay, second is a pivot. Second is a slicer. For the slicer, basically, it is used to quickly filter the data in the pivot table. So picture above shows some of example of slicer, which is its functions have been used. Okay, the pivot. Okay, side of the pivot table is a pivot chart. For example, when the menu of nasi ayam was selected, the graph only showed of chart of order nasi ayam biasa. So the chart, we can see that all the pivot chart will be followed by the by the slicer. Okay, there is a pivot chart. So for the pivot chart, we can see that there is a lot of a chart here, and it shows that a graph of quantity order of each of the ayam menu in the pivot table. So basically, pivot chart is a visual representation of the pivot table. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, next is we can see the sales of the nasi ayam. Okay, on this sheet of sales section, we put a pivot table, pivot chart, and slicer to easily show the sales of chicken rice that have been sold for each of the types of nasi ayam. Okay, we can see this one is the pivot chart and this is the pivot table, and to facilitate the isolation of the type of chicken rice cells, we have placed a slicer near the code or the data and that receive. Okay, this pivot table we use to help us to show us the sales totals for all the types of nasi ayam in the worksheet, and we also make a specific code for each types of the chicken rice. Okay, if you look from here, we have 5 types of chicken rice, and for each of we set the code to differentiate each of the types of nasi ayam. So when we want to check, we can just check or uncheck each of the code we have made specifically for each of nasi ayam that we have sales by just click OK when we are ready. Also, on the order date, we have also put the function of slicer for certain dates to receive orders from customer, and also date for order delivery. And by adding the slicer, we can just click the code we want to see, and to select more than one code items, we just have to hold Control on our keyboard while we click. Okay, and then after that it will show that the pivot table change each time based on what code we have selected, the same as regular charts. This is because the pivot chart and the slicer are linked together, and so any code that we click will show up in the pivot chart as well. So this purpose we use is to facilitate to check the results of order and sales we have received for the set dates, so that we can use this data for the future. And also by adding a pivot table, a pivot chart, and slicer, it will help us to look at the data in so many different ways without changing or deleting any of the original content, and it's a great way to find whatever information that we are looking for. Okay, lastly, the invoice sheet. Okay, on the invoice sheet, we can see there are many VLOOKUP that we use for each of the data. So we can see we use the VLOOKUP on the order date, customer name, items, quantity, price per unit, coupon, total price, shipping cost, and lastly for the subtotals. And all of these VLOOKUP, the main they are linked to the main of the invoice number. And for each of the VLOOKUPs, for example, the order date, we have made the specific formula bar based on the menu on the customer order, and we put the linked together. So when we have set the formula, it will pop up when we insert the invoice number. So we can test it by click the invoice number, and it will pop up the data validation. The data validation is to easily to convey the instruction for us. So at this note, it shows the notes of please insert your invoice number. So where will we get the invoice number is on the customer order sheet. So
example, we take the Adib Rosham, his invoice number, so we just copy and back at the invoice sheet back, and click at the invoice number and paste the invoice number of Adi or Sham, and it will immediately show all the data of the Adi or Sham purchase on our companies. So this is so they are linked together. Okay, and also at the right side, we have put our names, our company names, and our address. So that's all.